Indiana 27, Penn State 24. Penn State falls short of an upset bid here at Beaver Stadium. That's Nate Bauer, Sean Fitz. I am Greg Pickle from BlueWhiteIllustrated.com. Nittany Lions, Sean, I'll start with you. Had a chance to end the game on their terms with the offense. Were not able to do so. Defense had the same opportunity, not able to do so. Indiana, perfect touchdown drive to seal the game.
More of the same this season, right? You know, it's been just one gut punch after another for the Nittany Lions, and then you get down. I thought they played a really good defensive game. I thought they played not right into the hands of what Indiana or what they wanted Indiana to do. But when you got a quarterback like Fernando Mendoza that's going to give you a shot at every turn, that's kind of what you get. And unfortunate because it was a heck of an effort for a team that has been through so much now. 6 straight losses, lost the head coach a couple games ago. It's been a lot, and you didn't see the quit. You didn't see low energy or whatever you want to say about the last week or so. And it's coming from a lot of the veterans, which I really don't think if you're around Nittany Nation talking about the guys that can make a difference down the stretch, you really didn't think the veterans, you know, there's a reason they could have checked out. They certainly haven't. So credit to them. But yes, it's just another chapter of a gut punch for Penn State. It's a tough one to swallow.
Nate, I can tee up for Nick Singleton's 3 touchdowns if you like, but take it any direction you want, buddy.
Sure. He had a good game.
Yeah.
He had a good game. And so he said it afterwards. I think it was pretty plain that getting the passing game going helps with that, right? The vertical passing game in concept that doesn't actually have to work to helped him and worked. Right. So, like, there's kind of a little bit of a double whammy there. I think, like, that's a conversation for another day. It's a little more complicated than I think everyone's making it out to be, but that's neither here nor there. He played well when there were some holes for him to run through, which is not he's missed some chances this year. Like, no argument against that. But by and large, it has been a tough year for Penn State's best 2 offensive players to get going. Like, not just Nick. What was Katron's average today, right? He averaged 2.7 yards per carry. There's something to that effect. Why? Because it's hard to get the running game going when the defense knows that's all they really have to stop to keep you from scoring points. So, once again, this was a Penn State offense that I did not see how it would manufacture points, but it did. Right. It did manufacture points. And, end of the day, though, manufacturing 24 points just isn't enough against the best offenses that the Big Ten has, Indiana being one of them, and that played out again this afternoon, right? You have to score more points.
Right. Your thoughts on the final drive, Fitz? Indiana needs 10 plays to go 80 yards, and I believe it was a minute 51.
You talk about this entire season, and you talk about how Penn State is a couple plays away from being whatever their record could be. I mean, I don't think they were beating Ohio State, but, like, you're looking at a couple of bounces, a couple of this and that, and you saw that sort of encapsulated on one drive once again. You saw really good veteran players for Indiana going out and making not just great catches, spectacular catches, 2 of them, one along the sideline and then one in the back of the end zone that somehow he got in. I just don't know how that works. But I'm not a physicist, so, like, I'm not sure how all that comes together. But it was just kind of the story of everything, right? You talk about making one more play, getting there a split second earlier. Penn State pressured Mendoza throughout the day. I thought Jim Knowles caught a heck of a game, to be honest with you. When you take a look at King Mack getting to the quarterback, Zion Tracy was in there. There was so much pressure that we didn't see last week, which is a positive thing moving forward. And I don't know how much you're going to take away from it as a 3-6 football team that's got an opportunity to go 6-6. Like, that's right. That's the peak right now. It's very far from what we were talking about a couple months ago. But also, you saw some of the ability to play a little bit faster on the Penn State's defense and making plays. King Mack made the interception there in the fourth quarter. Like, you just saw a ray of sunshine there for a little bit in a very, very dark season, and I think that was great. And then Indiana made the plays, and Indiana scored the touchdown, won the football game, put it over the top. The results are all that matters, no doubt. But that was it's just very brief encapsulation of how one team season can get away from you and how one team season just kind of seems to be destiny. Now, is this Indiana team as good as what we saw at Ohio State last week? Is it as good as some of the teams that we've seen throughout the country? I'm not sure. They've got a lot to work on, and that's kind of the beauty of college football right now. That's the number 2 team in the country. Well, there's a lot of teams that have a chance to win a national championship. Unfortunately, not Penn State, because that 6 straight losses usually write you off of that one. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they fought hard. I think there's credit to be due to Terry Smith, to that staff, to those veterans players especially. They fought hard. Just wasn't enough at the end of the day.
Not enough. The story of this game for Penn State and the season. Nate, your final thoughts, I guess, on where Penn State is now, where it goes moving forward. Penn State to Michigan State next week, 3:30 in East Lansing. Finish out the year then with Nebraska and Rutgers.
Yeah, it's all very interesting, and there's lots of storylines and things to talk about, right? Like pinpointing why things have gone wrong for this Penn State team, and like curse is just like a word that's coming out now, and that's maybe morbidly fun conversation. I'm not sure. It's a lot of curse words, and just kind of the mirror in opposite result of last season. Fine, we can all have those conversations. That's fine, but also, like, the fatal flaws of this season have been straightforward for the whole season. There just has not been any mystery about who or what this team is. It has not changed really, truly, from the first game of the season to now. Quarterbacks that can move at all with their legs. Penn State has a problem, right? Like, all the pressure on Mendoza today. How many sacks did Penn State have?
3.
Like, how many times did they actually bring him down? And how impactful were the times that they didn't? It was very impactful. His ability to escape that pressure, either move the chains with his legs, extend plays, create those opportunities for catch, were crucial. On the offensive side of the ball, kind of the same deal, right? Just nothing, 10-play drive, touchdown. A Nick Singleton drive. Anyway.
We almost lost you now.
I know, but it's so feast or famine, and yes, they started to get the downfield passing game going in the second half. Once they were trailing by 2 touchdowns, right, or whatever that was, 17 points. There are things that this team does well occasionally. There is nothing that it does well consistently, at all. And I think that Terry said it after the game, and it rings particularly true. The confluence of all of this during the hardest stretch of the schedule that you can have doesn't do them any favors. So, like, things that you're looking at from the stands and like, oh, well, yeah, they came close, right. And I don't even think that there's an argument that this game wasn't a better actual product than some of the wins that they had in the non-conference, right? Like, there were definitely improvements. There are things that have changed for them, but there are just certain shortcomings that they have, be it personnel, hands being tied for the coordinators not doing what Terry Smith wants. He made that plain. But all of that together, that convergence is the team that you see out there, and it's a credit to them that they keep playing hard and keep competing, get competitive. But his response about whether or not it was their best performance, like, no, it's not. It's just not. It's not good enough. It's competitive, and all of those things are fine and show resiliency. But the actual product just still is not that good, and that's problematic for Penn State if it wants to win football games.
Right. Sean, final thoughts?
Yes, they do one thing really well consistently. It's Ryan Barker, kicker.
Say, yep.
Yeah, you knew I wasn't getting out of here without that one. Number 2, you look at the fumble by Katron Allen before halftime. Katron Allen doesn't fumble, first off. Like, he is never been a fumbler, no matter the season. I believe this is his first one this year. For Penn State to not weather that storm, but also it shows you where they're at as a talented team. That was almost enough to take you over the edge. That was almost enough for people to look at this and say, okay, well, the house of cards comes tumbling down. To their credit, they fought back. They did a really nice job. And also, we're talking about different teams here because you're going to lump all these losses together. You're going to lump UCLA and Northwestern in with Iowa, at Ohio State, and Indiana. They're very different situations. Right. Penn State played, well enough in each of the last 3 games to win those 2 games beforehand that they definitely should not have lost. Right. But you're looking at a team that continues to do above average things, and then you ran into this 3-game buzzsaw, and it's very different. It's very different than what you're going to see in the next 3 weeks. So I will say that you've got a little bit of hope if you're going to turn this around. And what's it mean in the big picture? I have no idea. Will they go to a bowl game if they're 6-6? I don't know. There's a lot of conversation to be had there. They got to win a game first. Right. I'm not putting them at 6-6 yet, but I'm saying the opportunity to play Michigan State, Nebraska, and Rutgers is very different than the opportunity to play at Iowa, at Ohio State, and at home against Indiana. So I do think there's been progress, even though the loss column continues to be the same.
All right, that's Sean Fitz, Nate Bauer. I'm Greg Pickle. Blue White Illustrated is $1 to sign up for the first week. Build annually from there. Follow the Penn State coaching search and the rest of the Lions season at bluewhiteillustrated.com. We'll catch you next time.